I don't talk very loud, and it's louder in my car, so I apologize. Today was a good day. We had a winner, which is amazing. I'm so glad I can finally say that I took a trade, because it's been a week of not trading because of the price action. It's just been so bad. But yeah, I'm really happy that I actually took an entry today. I'm really tired. It's 11:30. I was hoping that I could get to bed by 11 today. I got out of my trade at like 9:30 today, which was so good. Today I actually had a really fun day. I had a day that I didn't like work tirelessly, which was so good because usually I'd have a lot of social media management work to do, a lot of freelancing stuff to do, but today it was pretty cruisy. So I went out for lunch with my friend and got to go to the gym. I got to go and have fish and chips with my sisters, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do the things that I need to do for trading. So I came back home and it was like grind till now. And I did all my social media management work. I journaled all my trades. I did my trading recap, which is what I'm doing now while filming this video. I'm just trying to wait for it to finish processing. And then I'm going to, oh, did I show you guys my emails? Sorry, there it is. And what else am I doing? I'm going to backtest 1 month of data in the next however long it takes. I'm doing that because I'll send that later. But anyway, let's talk about this trade. This trade was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the entry that I got. I was pretty attached to the high time frame, the 4-hour trade, the 4-hour ICC setup, but I could see that price has already retraced or done a correction and continuation back to the levels that made up that 4-hour indication. So I didn't think there was any reason for price to really go back to the 4-hour indication level unless it was trying to actually sell off, because yeah, price is already corrected. So that was like a whole like thing that I needed to get over. Price was clearly not going down that far, and if it went down that far, it would have been really low probability. So yeah, I ended up taking an ICC setup based off of the 1-hour high time frame trend and ICC setup, and yeah, I got the indication at probably around about 3 o'clock or like 3:30 or something, and then I just had a look, saw what price was doing. I waited for that correction, so I set an alert back at that high. I got that correction back when I was on my way home, and then I got home, saw that there was no entry for me, so I went to the gym, got back from the gym. Once I got back from the gym, um, I still had alerts set, and then once my alerts went off, when me and my sisters were going for fish and chips, I could see, okay, price has made a correction. We can see there's actually market structure on this correction, so let me enter. What did I do? I messed up and I entered a Euro USD trade instead of a gold trade, so that was great. But I obviously took that out straight away. I got like negative 40 cents or something. It was totally fine. But yeah, and then I entered in the gold trade. And yeah, I set my stop loss and my take profit, which usually I don't do. Usually I just like watch price action, but because I was out, I didn't know like how fast price was gonna move. I was like, let me just set it just in case. And I was something that was kind of holding me back was something that I learned back in my ICT days, which was like liquidity sweeps, and how New York will do a liquidity sweep on the London low, London will do a liquidity sweep on the Asia and the blah blah blah. And I feel like that stuff, it stresses me out sometimes because I had my stop loss basically at the London low, and price was probably midway or like 45% way through the range of London session, meaning like this is London session high and lows, and price was probably sitting like here. I don't know if you can see, like it's like 45% from the low up. And yeah, I was worried that price was going to do a liquidity sweep on that, which would have taken me out of my position. And yeah, so that was kind of holding me back a little bit, but I was like, you know what, let me not stress about that. Let me just stick to ICC because clearly there's going to be a draw on liquidity to the high. And I say that because there was 3 rejections at the high. So there was 3, yeah, basically like equal highs at the high. So I was like, you know what, like if we're going to really be talking ICT terms, it's going to get to that high. But talking ICC terms, price has already made an indication correction and it's made market structure on the lower time frame. So that's how I got my confidence to get in. And I'm really sorry if that sounded like gibberish or if that sounded wrong or if I said anything like wrong from that. Like yeah, sometimes it's just hard to explain, like because I have so many things going on in my head when I'm taking an entry, when I'm looking at the charts, and especially because I learned ICT. Like, oh, part of me, I'm still really happy that I learned it because at least I know that when people are like, you should do ICT or you should, like, there was a liquidity sweep, or blah, 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 blah. At least I know what it is. Like, I'm glad that I know what it is because I know that, like, I won't get tempted because everyone's saying to try ICT. I already know what it is, so I won't get too tempted. And when people are explaining what they see on the charts when it comes to fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps, drawing liquidity and stuff like that, I actually know what they're saying and I can kind of put it into like a market structure, price action terms. But yeah, that was today's trade. I'm actually pretty happy with it, but I'm trying not to get over the moon. I was so emotional throughout my trade. Like when I was watching price get so close to my take profit, I was just emotional because it's like simply because I was looking at price like moving, and it made a big seller volume stick thing. So I was a bit stressed when I saw that, and I was like, oh, should I just take it out? But then I actually did hold. And what did price do? Yeah, I think it was just an outlier because price continued on the uptrend on the histogram for the buyer volume. So I think it was just an outlier. Maybe Trump posted a tweet or something. I don't know. I should look at the US dollar index more. But yeah, price never ended up making a lower low when it did have that big spike in seller volume. So I just had to keep reminding myself that and to not be too stressed because it never showed a lower low. It never broke market structure. So yeah, that was that. Oh, no, it's not ready for processing. Yeah. Um, and I swear I had more to tell you guys. Hold on. Okay, so I added a few things to my progress tracker. So I added that I need to watch one ICC video a day and I need to take notes on it and watch it all the way through. And yeah, today I watched the um the live stream, the Cape Town thing that Sky had, the event, and I watched the whole stream of that. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't take notes, but it wasn't the type of thing where you take notes. It was just kind of him doing like a Q&A type of thing. But I still ticked it off my progress tracker because it was 2 hours. And the videos that I was planning on watching were only going to be like 30 minutes long. Or even if that. So I feel like the fact that I watched a 2 hour video of a Q&A, it answered a lot of questions and there was a lot of really useful stuff that I just could take into action straight away. So yeah, I was really grateful for it. It was actually really, really good. I highly recommend if you trade ICC, I know these event videos are long. They're like 2 hours long. There's two of them so far. But yeah, they're like movies, like literally like in length. It's crazy. But honestly, they're packed with value. Like the value is crazy. It's not only just like value, it's like motivational as well. Like there's plenty of people that are like, oh, I traded ICT and then I changed to ICC and I'm profitable and blah 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 blah. Like people like telling their stories and stuff like that, and it's so inspiring. And also just people asking like questions, like some really solid questions. Like I learned today that Trades by Sky's favorite time frame, or that like its most preferred time frame is the 1 hour, which is interesting to me because I thought it was the 4 hour, but it's the 1 hour. I don't know why I find that interesting. I think it's just because I like the 1 hour, but he always goes on about the 4 hour. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. But there was a few other really good gems on there, so I would highly recommend. I know that Trades by Sky is against backtesting. I can never agree with that because it's helped me so much, but it really is an individual's thing. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about the backtesting bit now because I've been kind of procrastinating that. But so yeah, so many people are against backtesting and that's totally fine. When I talk about backtesting, I'm not going to say like, oh, if you backtest 10 years of data, you're going to be profitable from day dot. Like obviously not because you don't have your emotions in it. As long as you backtest with the idea that this is real and like these results matter, and you journal each trade. Each trade has a specific playbook that you're following, so it has specific entry and exit criteria, as if you were to take it on the real markets using your specific strategy. So yeah, I look at backtesting like it's like the real deal, like this is it. So when I backtest, I do it on a month to month basis. So I'll backtest say all of July, and then I'll review all of that, and then I'll move on and I'll backtest all of August, I think, is the next month. And yeah, so I'll do it as if it's the real market. Like this is my real money, these are my real statistics, and like I do my backtesting session with the size that I would be using, and it's backtesting without being able to see the data ahead. It's not just like the replay tool where you're already scrolling through and seeing the data. It's like you put in this date to this date, and then it will pop up with a new chart for you to use. So yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I think backtesting is really good because a lot of people talk about how, oh, it's past market conditions and just because you can trade in those market conditions doesn't mean you can trade in these market conditions. And I totally agree. Like every market condition is different. You don't have to deal with like news or anything like that. Like when you're backtesting, obviously you can still see the news on the charts and it still is going to affect things, but you don't have to deal with like your actual live news bias when like news comes out, that all the emotional stress that comes with things. But when it comes to actually executing on your entry criteria and exit criteria, just looking at the charts, backtesting is really good because you can go through all different types of market conditions and not just one market condition, because someone could learn how to trade in these market conditions, but then when the economy changes into something that else that it's been like in the past, then they might struggle. So I think what's good with backtesting is you can experience all different types of market conditions when it comes to your specific strategy. And then as soon as you know that your strategy works in like all different types of conditions, or you know what conditions your strategy doesn't work in, you can go into the live markets having an expectation of what you can achieve, and then you can also have an idea of what the chart is actually going to look like. I feel like what's so good about backtesting is just being able to get the right entry and to be able to understand the way your strategy looks like on a chart specifically. So that's why I'm going to be backtesting every day now. So I decided to start backtesting one session a day because it helped me so much when I was starting trading, because I didn't know how to see ICC the best on the chart, but I built a lot of confidence and a lot of just attachment to the strategy, I feel like, from backtesting. Like I backtested and I was getting 10% gains on the account. I backtested and I got 3% gains on the account. Like obviously it varies, but I've backtested and I've had 4 trades in a month, or I've backtested and I've had 10 trades in a month. So when I take a whole week of not taking a trade, I can think back to that backtesting session that I had and I was like, okay, with no emotions, no bias, with no nothing, I was only able to execute on 4 good trades based off of only market structure. So if I only take a few trades, like say I only take 4 trades this month, I can think back to that and be like, okay, it's fine because I backtested not similar, but I backtested and I've had similar results and it's been totally fine. And the next month has been something different. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is it gives you like a really good expectation, and you know, obviously experienced traders are better than beginner traders because they've been in the market longer, they've been able to see the price action longer, and they're just more experienced. But you can backtest all of the data that they've been trading off of. So say, we'll just use Sky as an example because I only know Sky. Let's just use like a random trader. We'll use a random trader as an example. So Bob. Bob has been trading for 5 years and he's just traded the live markets. Say I come along and I'm like, damn, Bob is so inspiring. I can't wait to be profitable like Bob. Like let me use his strategy and let me backtest it across these whole 5 years that he's been trading for and build the skill up. Let me build, get the reps in, practice, it's basically like a practice. You don't experience the real life emotions of the real test, but you're preparing yourself for when you actually get into that test. So it's basically like a practice. Like, let me do 5 years of backtesting data. It sounds crazy. It's totally achievable if you just like go little bit by little bit every single day, as in me doing like 1 month of backtesting a day, which we'll see how consistent I get in that. But just I think biting away at it little bit by little bit, and so I apologize, my phone died. I don't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about backtesting. Yeah, so say Bob has 5 years of trading experience in trading this one instrument across 5 years. So I come in and I'm like, hey, I love what Bob is doing. I want to get as good as that. He's been trading for 5 years. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine like being on the charts for 5 years. That's crazy. So I go, let me just backtest and practice this strategy over and over and over and over and over again. And then I do 5 years of data, and we've both seen the same market conditions. Not specifically, we haven't both experienced the same emotions. We haven't experienced the news, the actual state of the economy, because the economy obviously affects everyone. So it affects our grocery shopping prices, our fuel prices, it affects the people who work, it affects everything. So obviously I'm experiencing it on a minor scale, but I'm seeing what it looks like on the charts, and I'm seeing different setups appear. And it might get to the 4th year of me backtesting the same data that Bob has traded in the past, and I start replicating a few of Bob's trades. I start getting a few of the trades that he's previously taken in the past, and then it's like, okay, I'm finally getting used to seeing it. I don't know, that's just how I think of it. And it's obviously, I'm not saying that trading is live is the same as backtesting. I just am a strong believer of, if you found the strategy that works for you and you've studied that strategy to the point where you can talk about it in the air, like I can talk about ICC in the air, like you're at your high time frame trend, you got a high, which is a barrier where sellers are sitting at, price is selling off when it gets to that level, then price finally makes an indication, then it makes a correction with bearish structure, and then you zoom into the 15-minute or the 5-minute, and then you wait for bullish structure to appear underneath this level. Once price gets back above this level of bullish structure, you enter off of that bullish structure. Whether you want to enter off the breakout after you've seen bullish structure, or whether you want to enter on the pullback, that's completely fine, up to you. You enter there, you target that indication level what that price pushed up to before it started rejection and forming bearish structure, and you put your stop loss at the low of that correction. Oh, I got a message. But yeah, once you're able to like recite your strategy off the back of your hand and Like literally, if someone gave you a piece of paper, you should be able to draw your strategy. Once you've studied it to that point and you've studied the basics of like the market, like candlesticks to a very basic level, like you don't need to understand all the advanced ones, but you know, maybe understand like the basic ones, like I think they're called shooting stars and I think dojis, I think. But once you understand candles and the way they move and what actually the story of price is saying to you, then I think once you've got everything you need, you don't need YouTube anymore. Like, yes, you can revise things. Like, at the moment, I'm just looking at revising Trades by Sky stuff, and I'm looking at learning a little bit more on volume and a little bit more on a few other things. But I'm also matching that with back testing. So I'm matching that with actually looking at my setup every single day and trying to find my setup in these like almost quiz-like scenarios, like practice scenarios. So yeah, that's just how I see it. So that's why I'm going to be trying to implement that a little bit of that every day to also just build my confidence, and hopefully it'll provide me with more peace throughout the markets. But so far I've been really good with my morning affirmation, reading through my morning notes, and my journaling. I've been really good, so I'm excited for this weekly recap to show you guys how much better I've improved on my journaling, and hopefully it stays that way and I keep improving. But yeah, I'm so tired. You guys can probably tell, but I'm gonna try and get this video out for you guys tonight. It is it's 11:48, so hopefully I can get this done before 1 o'clock. I'm gonna literally be rushing this whole next like 10 minutes. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great trading week. Tell me how your trade went tonight. And yeah, I hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Please make sure you guys subscribe if you're new. I document my entire journey. I do little chit chat episodes like this, which you can see is just like me in my bed talking about my trading. And then I actually do trade recaps, which is the one that I'm just in the process of doing now. And I'm also going to start posting other things to do with my trading journey, just little bits here and there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe, comment, let me know how your trading day went. And yeah, I wish you the best for the rest of your trading week. Hopefully we both experience green weeks. But yeah, bye bye.